Hello, YouTube. With Ubuntu 2004 actually coming out pretty soon, 18 days as the day I am recording this video. If you go ahead and search for Ubuntu 2004 download, you can actually find, right now, you can find their daily builds. And then you'd want to download the Focal Desktop AMD 64. Don't do the ARM 64 unless you have an ARM CPU. Make sure you do the AMD 64 for 64-bit computer. I already have that downloaded and configured in a virtual machine with VirtualBox. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up, and I'm going to tell it to install Ubuntu. Then we wait for it to boot. Okay, English US. Just for this, I'm going to do a minimum install just to make it so my install doesn't take too long. Normally, I would probably say do a normal install. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to download updates and install third-party stuff as well. Now it's taking a little while to figure out my hard drive. Normally you would probably just do the erase this and install Ubuntu, but I'm actually going to be interesting and create my own partition table, which isn't really that complicated. It's actually pretty basic. Mostly, I'm going to do a 350. Hello? Can I type, please? There. Okay. 350 megabyte UEFI boot partition at the start of the drive. And then I'm going to create we'll just say a 500 and a 512, or it was 5 gigabyte swap partition at the end of the disk. And then the rest of it I'm going to mount as my /root partition using ext4. Apparently I did the slash the wrong direction, so it complained at me. So it fixed it. Install. That's okay. Chicago. My name, Troy Borg. Computer name, Troy Borg QB. Username that. Password that. Password that. Auto log me in. Continue. Now we wait for it to install. Since it did the minimum install, we shouldn't have to wait here too terribly long, while I enjoy my Baja Blast Mountain Dew while we wait. Let's collapse that so I can see what it's doing. There we go. It's done installing. Go ahead and tell it to restart. I just hit escape just to see why it's taking forever to reboot. It's just waiting for the thing to safely shut down the live environment. Which I'm going to be impatient and just restart. There we go. Ubuntu is booting. I'm going to press escape just so I can see the verbose booting option thing. Okay, skip online account, skip that. Sure, send system info to canonical. Next. Done. Okay, and we are at the Ubuntu 2004 desktop. First thing I'm going to do actually is open up a terminal and do sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get grade. Have it search for any updates. It looks like there are some updates. While I wait for that to do that, I'm going to go ahead and actually copy over the Conky file, my Conky manager setup. So log on to my NAS. I type the IP address right, it helps. Go multimedia. Yes, I need to log into this. Conky. And let me copy my ManyRoads Conky file. Go to my home folder. I'm going to create a new folder called .conky. And because it's a dot file, you can't see it, so you have to tell it to show hidden files. There's my .conky file. I'm going to paste that in there. Now, let's do sudo apt install conky-all. Yes. But I also need the Conky manager, which is not in the yeah, if I try to install Conky manage you'll notice it is not found. So we open up Firefox and we'll search for Conky manager Ubuntu. Auto install Conky system manager. Scroll down, it tells you make sure you update, install Conky all, which I've already done. And then the Conky manager, we will follow this wget command. Then once it downloads, you change it as an executable and then run the executable. So terminal, boonk, and then mod it, and run it. There we go, it installs. Yes. Yes. Okay, now I can close that. Close this. Now I've already done the. When I check now under my applications, we should see Conky Manager. And there's my file that I copied over. Let's go ahead and click on that. Well, and then as you can see, it's still themed for my Manjaro setup. But we want to customize this for Ubuntu. So with it selected, let's go ahead and edit this. We don't know why it created a new document. Here's this. First, let's do find Manjaro. Here it is, logo Manjaro. Let's change that to logo Ubuntu. Save, and then you should see it should update. Yep, now we got the Ubuntu logo. Next we want to do is change the color of this. So instead of Manjaro green, we want this Ubuntu orange. So for that, I already, I would be looking through this, and I can kind of tell by looking at it that, right here it's saying info, that kind of looking at this, system information, process and loading, which is very look. System motion. Aha, there's the color for that text that says system information. So let's go ahead and copy that color number and do a search, find and replace with the Ubuntu thing, which how I would end up finding that actually would be, I would go in here into my Conky file, ManyRoads, images, and then I can scroll down, and here's all the different logos you can choose. And it's like, let's say if you were doing Linux Mint, you could choose their color. You could choose, kind of figure out how you want to do it. Well, we're doing Ubuntu, so let's take that and open it. Looks like we need a image editor, so let's go ahead and open up the terminal again and do a sudo apt install. Let's install GIMP. Okay, now with GIMP installed, go ahead and tell it to open it with GIMP. Now, zoom in, select the color picker and click on that. Click on the color, and hey, there's the color that we need for this Ubuntu orange. So, back to that text document. With our find and replace, we want to replace that green with that color. Replace them all. And save. Now I want to minimize this. It should have. Yep, and it has updated it to that green, or to that orange. Now I can close this. And one thing is my networking is not showing up, not showing the networking information. So to figure out what your interface is you should be able to go up here and click on this. And it usually would tell you inside here, like I know on my personal desktop, it tells me what my interface is called right there. But it looks like GNOME doesn't tell you that. So yet again, back to the terminal. And I would like to install ifconfig, which is kind of similar to ipconfig on Windows. And so if I try to run it, you'll see, hey, it says you need to install NetTools to install that. Let's go ahead and install that. Now then we run ifconfig, and there we go. There's the name of our interface. ENP0S3. So in Conky Manager, we can click on the edit widget icon for this and go to network and update that with our network interface setting. Now I can close Conky Manager. Put. And I don't know why it was showing on top, but there you go. You can see if I go ahead and open up this and do like a fast.com speed test, you'll see that it's showing the network activity going up there, and you'll update it the amount of download, showing the amount of download that it's doing and how much you have received. You can also see here it's how much CPU each application is using and stuff. If I go and close Firefox, Firefox should pop out of there as being CPU usage. So hopefully that helps. And then I guess other applications I would probably install, since it did a minimum install, I would do sudo apt install, do ffmpeg, mpv, LibreOffice-still, Inkscape, I guess Steam, Streamlink, unable to find LibreOffice-still. Okay, let's get rid of the -still off of it. There we go. It's going to download and install all these. We should see the network activity go while it's doing this. Oh yeah, I guess also because I'm running this in a virtual machine, my resolution is kind of small. So let's just bump this up to like a somewhat normal resolution. And then you may notice, hey, Conky is not in its correct position. So let's go ahead. The conk, C-O-N, Conky Manager, and settings. I set settings. Now let's just boop, boop, re-update it. And there we go. Now it's gone back into the correct position. You can also see there's a progress bar that goes across telling you your average CPU usage and kind of graphs it out as like this bar, which I think is pretty cool. Go ahead and close that. Now you'll see when I open up the activities, I guess I made the resolution too tall. Now when I go in here, you'll see there's Inkscape, there's LibreOffice, there's MPV Player, there's Steam. Must be a bunch of little files because all of a sudden it slowed way down. Uh, yes. There we go. Now you can see the whole desktop. Oops. Wrong button. Slide it over. I guess it looks pretty good right there the way it was. Never mind. I'm just doing stuff. It's installing. There we go. Now I should get the Steam login page. Once it finishes doing whatever it's doing. Try reopening it. Oh yeah, it looks like it's doing stuff. I can see it running setup.sh in the background there. Oh yeah, there you can see, yep, CPU. Steam is definitely using some CPU here. So you could see Steam was doing stuff in the background even though we couldn't see the application. So yeah, then go ahead and log into your Steam account. And just to show you everything's working good, if I go ahead and power off or restart this VM, everything should come back up. Conky should pop up. Hopefully. Why is Conky not loading? Oh, for some reason it disabled itself on that reboot. I don't know why it did that. Like I said, if it does that, you can just easily reopen Conky Manager and click on it. Let's make sure it doesn't do that again. Start again. And make sure Conky doesn't disappear at a reboot. Readjust the microphone so I'm talking more into it. There we go. Okay, for some reason Conky is not staying on her reboot, which I am unsure why. Is there a setting? Settings. Run Conky at startup. There we go. That was the problem. I didn't have Conky set to load on startup. So now this time when we restart, we should have Conky. Maybe wondering where is it? Well, you may notice when I was setting that it said at a delay of 20 seconds. So hopefully in 20 seconds it should appear. There it is. We may want to set that a little bit faster because that was a long time. So let's just set it to like 5 seconds. Out of curiosity, what is my personal PC's Conky Manager set to? My Conky Manager is I don't even have this thing set to run on startup. It's just doing it on its own. That's interesting. But and I did notice it looks like Ubuntu has updated over to the dash to dock, which as of right now is not working because they haven't updated it to the newest GNOME, but by the time 2004 releases, this should work, that we should be able to do our dash to dock settings and flip this to the bottom instead of having it on the side. So hopefully you enjoyed this video.